The Supercell games have been a pretty big company overall, creating the very popular games like Clash of Clans or Clash Royale. I mean, you guys have definitely heard of the meme by now. It was very popular in the 2010s, and Clash Royale, the game we're going to be talking about in this video, is one of the underliers in Supercell's history. It's the one game that not many people think about as one of their best games. Clash of Clans or Brawl Stars have managed to keep their popularity for years, but Clash Royale seems to have been left in the dust just a few years after its initial release, up until recently. Jinxie, a really popular streamer, and others, started to get into the game, slowly rivaling Supercell's biggest games once again. Now, let's talk about this. Clash Royale as a game, if you didn't know, is a 1v1 styled game, where you fight the other team by dropping cards from a deck of 8 down on the map to defend or attack the other team, winning by ultimately taking out the king tower or getting more crowns than your opponent at the end of the game. It's a really simple concept, right? Which would make you think that, this game should be exactly like Clash of Clans. Well, no. It dropped off quite a bit after its initial launch in 2016, building back up in 2019 to then drop back down in 2025 due to the poor updates and Supercell taking stuff from the game that people liked, which happens in a lot of games. But anyways, the game was not dead at all leading up to the midway of 2025. It was still getting tons of downloads and active players, but obviously compared to its numbers in 2016 and 2021, it was quite far off its peak, which scared quite a lot of the players and created discussions, and people from the player base were talking about whether or not it was in a bad state. But that's enough about this for the time being. Let's talk about the numbers and the actual rise in popularity recently. If we go to the first quarter of 2025, March, when revenue was just at $15 million, I mean, it's a hell of a lot of money, but compare it to the other games on this list, it's not a lot. And in April, the revenue chart jumped to 17 million. Another jump in revenue, but still not near the giants of Supercell. And then in May, 28 million. A massive jump, basically almost beating Clash of Clans, something that seemed impossible months ago, and marked one of the highest months for Clash Royale in its history. But why did a massive jump happen in May anyway? It was because Jinxie, a massive streamer / YouTuber, made his first stream on the game and published it on YouTube, gaining millions of views, and this was the start of it for Jinxie. Now he obviously mainly streams Clash Royale 3 months later, which is bringing a hell of a lot of players to the game, which is great. He's actually popularizing this really popular game that even my friends play now. And as of writing this script anyway, I saw that Jinxie was streaming Clash Royale, but that's the reason I even got back into the game in the first place, even though I am 2,300 trophies. Yeah, I'm a noob, I know. But yeah, loads of people are talking about this game at the moment, which is good, and it is making a lot of money for Supercell. I bet they're happy about this as well at the moment, which makes it even crazier that in June, the numbers skyrocketed even more, beating Clash of Clans and Brawl Stars, making it Supercell's highest earning game for the month. But it makes sense why this game is back, and better than ever. It's a really simple game. It's the perfect game to play whenever really. Even when you're on the toilet. And it's one of those games that is heavily memeable. I can't remember how many times I've said out loud some of the memes of this game, or sound effects, some of the characters make. But because of Jinxie, obviously loads of other content creators have decided to start flocking to the game, playing it themselves, contributing to the game's player numbers even more. If you check Twitch out, you'll see hundreds, if not thousands of streamers on there as well. Same thing with YouTube. It's crazy. And I believe that this situation that is happening now is kind of similar to when Minecraft randomly just started becoming popular all of a sudden. And, that makes sense because obviously PewDiePie popularized Minecraft when he came back. We've got Jinxie popularizing Clash Royale in 2025. But the gameplay itself is really strategic. If you actually properly get into it, I see the reason why so many people are flooding back. It makes sense. I really like that strategic aspect of it. It reminds me a ton of, obviously Clash of Clans, which is obvious. It is made by the same company, but it just feels better than that. I'm not being shoved in my face things to buy, and realistically you don't have to pay to play the game, or wait long hours for stuff to upgrade. That's not to say that the microtransactions are there, because they are, but paying $7 for an emote is an absolute scam, and they know it, but in general, it's just a perfect game to play. Cards are something that really make the game fun as well, and making sure you have elixir to be able to defend against your enemy's attacks is another thing that makes the game competitive. It's one of them phone games I can actually see people crashing out because of it, but the game has got some long-lasting issues. Progression is ass, straight up, it's really difficult, and luck-based, which makes this game terrible sometimes. Like, I got the Prince before I could even get it in the arena, and then my brother, who also plays the game, still hasn't got it, and stuff like that is just a massive problem, especially when you can't get in, you can't just get into the game and get a really good card early. Pay to win is also another big issue in the game. Being able to pay for stuff for a better card and upgrades shouldn't be there as well. That kind of ruins the game for so many players, and a whole other range of issues which I'm not going to get into, along with Supercell not actually caring about the game entirely, and the content creators who are wholeheartedly giving this game its life. But this is the thing with these companies, if they actually focus on these players, the game could easily last another decade. Like, especially with the amount of popularity it's got at the moment, if they just focused all their assets into just, focusing on what the community wants with the game and updates, like 2v2 mode coming back, the game would be in a better state when it eventually does drop off. And yeah, it just seems like they're trying to squeeze as much money and hype out of it as it can, which will ultimately end up with its demise, unless they change soon, although I doubt that the game itself will actually die soon anyway, because realistically it is a really fun game just on its own, even with, the microtransactions. But who knows what's coming, we will have to see. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to subscribe to me, please. This video took a while to make, and just comment, guys, what you think of the game at the moment and how many crowns you have, because I'm kind of cooked at the moment. And I will see you guys next week for another video. Peace.